This is the new ProductiveRecruit dashboard. We just launched some brand new changes to the layout as well as new features, and I want to show you it. So to level set, let's take a look at what the dashboard looked like before. We had our stats up the top, like email sent and profile views. We had our activity on the right, and we had our tasks to address. And now we still have those stats up here, except for what you'll notice is that we added spark lines. So if you have more than a few data points, you will see a trend line. And as you update this, let's say we change it to last 7 days, you'll see that trend line kind of change. And the other thing we added, which is I'm really excited about, is this outreach and engagement chart. So if you hover over any date, it will have the amount of emails that were sent, the amount of opens, the amount of clicks and profile views on that date. And you can actually, if you want to click some of these off, you can show what you want. So I think this is going to be huge as you're going through the recruiting process, understanding what's working, what type of engagement you're getting from college coaches. So super excited about that. On the right-hand side here, we have this new recruiting pipeline card. And if you click this info tooltip, you'll actually see more detail on all the statuses we have on your target list. So before, we had, these statuses you could set, but we never really explained what they mean. So now we have a nice little pop-up that explains that. And one thing to note too is that we changed interested to researching. Interested just didn't feel right to me. I think the first status, right, when you're a freshman or sophomore starting that recruiting process, you're probably really, let's call it researching, right? You're researching, you're learning more about that school. So that's why we made that decision. The other new thing we added is a campus visit step. So if you think about your target list as your recruiting like pipeline that you're updating over time throughout your recruiting process, it's hopefully getting smaller. You're hopefully moving schools through this from top to bottom. I think what made sense to us is, you're in contact, you're emailing the school, you're getting scouted, whatever. Eventually you're going to go on that campus visit whether it's official or unofficial, right? And then hopefully you get offered and commit, all that good stuff. So that's the recruiting pipeline. We show you how many schools you have in it, the amount on each status, and it just links to the target list. So that is that. And then we have a profile strength widget up here. This will hide once you're at 100%, but it basically just shows you things you need to complete to have a decent profile. Now you should fill out even more, as much as you can, on top of this, but this makes sure you add video, your GPA, position, stuff like that. We actually made it a little harder to get to, fill this out. We want college coaches to have what they need, so please fill out everything here, and you'll see this go away. And the activity is the same over here. The task piece is the same. We still have the full demo, so most of it is the same, but we did add some nice touches with the spark lines and this chart, which should be really nice when you're tracking your recruiting process. You'll also notice just overall we changed the layout. So before we had this top navigation here, and we also just kind of had this boring white and gray background. It didn't really feel on brand. So what we did is we moved it to a sidebar, which we've had in the past, which I realized that I liked more, and I think from feedback some people have liked more. The cool thing about this sidebar is you can toggle it on and off. So if you like it to be a little more compact, you can do that, and we'll also save that. So if I refresh the page, it will remember that it was compact. If I go to colleges, right? So let's actually open this up. For certain views, like the colleges view, if we go to that, it will automatically compact because we want to show more information. So that's a great transition into the new colleges page. So let's go over that. On the colleges page, let's go to the old one to kind of show you. On the old one, we have the filters on the right with one pop-up with all the filters. So it wasn't great, in my opinion. I think we could do better. So what we did is we moved it to 3 filter drop-downs right here. If I click one, like for example, athletics, I can change the division, or conference and location. I can pick state still, setting, so like city, zip code, distance from zip. We didn't remove anything. We just separated things. And then the academics one is the largest. So one thing to point out here is we changed it to a range slider. And all that basically means is, let's say you want to pick schools that are between 20,000 and 50,000. Now I can kind of select both sides of the range. Before you could only select the upper end of each of these ranges. So this kind of gives you some more ability to fine tune the search. So we didn't take anything away. We just made the experience better and kind of added some better functionality there. All this still works the same. You can favorite a school. Researching will now be the default. Yeah, so that's it on the athlete side. Let's transition over to the admin side of things. So I actually was just, for test purposes, impersonating an athlete here. So I can quickly go back to what it's going to look like for clubs, high schools, and recruiting businesses using ProductiveRecruit on the back end. So similar to the athlete side, we have the same layout structure of a sidebar, and you have the same tabs. Depending on what type of user you are, you will have different tabs here. Like a coach or a team manager will have athletes in some of these tabs on the left here. But in general, things overall are the same. We do have a lot more exciting new features coming for admins in the future. But one thing I did want to point out is we did bring over those spark lines and the email outreach and engagement chart to the internal athlete dashboard. So now when you click on one of your athletes, you'll see that same data here. You can still filter. It looks really nice. So I think you'll really enjoy that. The other thing I actually should go over, and it'll kind of link to the athlete profile side of things, is we did update the layout. Not the layout. We updated the styling and the background color and stuff of the team profiles and the athlete profiles just to match our new sidebar. Nothing's changed yet as far as what information we show or anything like that. Just wanted to point that out. So yeah, that's the new ProductiveRecruit update. We really wanted to make these changes to make your life easier when using the tool, and I'm really excited to continue to share more transparent updates this year as we make them. So thanks all. Have a great rest of your February and have a good one.